Hey guys, welcome back to another flight review. In this video, I'm flying from Dubai to Toronto on board the Emirates A380. So this video is continuing on from my last review, which was from Lahore to Dubai. So after about a 16-hour layover at the Dubai International Airport, I went on to board my approximately 14-hour long flight to Toronto, Canada. Boarding was pretty slow considering how many people they had to stuff onto the A380, and also since they had security checks at the gate. I was sitting in seat 78A. I'd say the seat was pretty narrow and the legroom isn't good enough for a 14-hour flight, but honestly it could have been worse. About 40 minutes into the flight, the first meal service began. I went with the omelette since I wasn't really in the mood for having the other option that was available. The food wasn't amazing, but considering how tired I was, it was pretty filling. As I always say about Emirates' headphones, they're not great, but they get the job done. The ICE in-flight entertainment system had a very limited selection of movies and TV shows, so I brought my own content instead of watching what they had available. So yeah, that was pretty disappointing. One thing I have to add though is that Emirates probably has the best in-flight maps out of all the other airlines that I've tried before. About 5 hours into the flight, the second meal service began with a small but filling pizza. Since I barely got any sleep back in Dubai, I tried taking a rather short nap, which turned out to last around 5 hours. The third and last meal was a cross between breakfast and lunch, since it was still pretty early in the morning, but we already had breakfast earlier, so I'll just call it lunch for the sake of this. Anyways, there was a grilled chicken fillet, along with a pasta salad and chocolate mousse. This was definitely the best meal of the entire flight, and probably the best meal that I've ever had on Emirates' economy class. The amenity kit was pretty basic, but it packed the usual economy amenities such as eye shades, earplugs, a pair of socks, a toothbrush, and toothpaste. This plane was around 3 years old at the time of the recording, so it was in pretty good condition. After what seemed like an eternity of a flight, we began our descent into Toronto Pearson International Airport. Okay, so this was my experience flying the Emirates A380 from Dubai to Toronto. The flight was good enough for me to say it was worth it, but it still could have been much better. The meal quality was definitely better than on some of the other routes that I've flown on with Emirates, so I won't complain about that. But the in-flight entertainment, seat comfort, and service were all lacking. There were also some uncontrollable factors that affected the overall experience, such as loud passengers and a lot of crying young children seated around me. While we were disembarking, the aircraft was a mess, with water leaking onto the carpet and waste scattered around the floor, but I guess it's probably pretty normal for a fully packed 14-hour-long flight on the 380. Anyways, it was a pretty good flight, and one of the better flights that I've been on that connect Canada and the Middle East. This was actually my first time back in Canada after around 4 years, and Toronto is actually the city that I was born in, so it was pretty nice to relive some of my past memories and also see what's changed around the country. So this is the end of my review. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more like this soon, then please leave a like and comment down below and subscribe to see similar reviews in the near future.